All right, welcome back to the channel. Floyd Money Mayweather gives Antonio Brown some very good advice, but yet people come out blasting on, or at least being very snide about what Floyd Mayweather Jr. said to Antonio Brown. And I'm just wondering, why? He didn't give him anything but the 100% straight truth. Let's talk about what Floyd Mayweather Jr. told Antonio Brown, the reception, what he had, what he said received, and whether or not that's justified or not. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you it's not justified. But let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Floyd Money Mayweather, one of the best fighter of this century so far. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of conversations about him being the TBE, the greatest of all time or whatever. I'm not going to go that far because boxing is very old and there's a lot of fighters. There's a lot of great fighters. And without a doubt, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is one of those fighters, no doubt about it. Now, one thing that he has done, which is very relevant to this discussion that we're having in this video, is that there hasn't been anybody that has been more successful in making money in boxing than Floyd Mayweather Jr. has. Now, I'm just talking about the listed money. I'm not doing the net present value for the money for Jack Dempsey or net present value analysis of the money that was made by Muhammad Ali. I'm just saying the straight numbers that came out. Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his career has made, my understanding is the dude is floating over $500 million earned fighting people in a boxing ring. That, my friend, is extremely successful by anybody's measurement, and something that is definitely makes him the greatest, one of the greatest, if not the greatest money earner ever to walk into a ring. And that is to be applauded. There's nothing lightweight about that. So he was in I guess this was a Instagram post or one of these social media things that I don't ever catch originally. Somebody has to give it to me. So I think it might've been on Instagram. He was doing a live conversation with Antonio Brown. Now, I'm not going to do a long, detailed background on Antonio Brown because I'm not a football fan. Only thing that I know about Antonio Brown is that he is a wide receiver, that he is a very good one, that he is mercurial, right? So he has ups and downs. All kind of drama around him. I think something might have also been related to a domestic violence issue with a girlfriend. I really don't pay a lot of attention to that stuff, especially with football players, because like I said, I'm a boxing fan, and the sport that I watch women's tennis and I watch boxing. I might watch the Super Bowl. I might watch the NBA finals. But other than that, man, I'm pretty much I just stick with boxing, and I like women's tennis. So I can't speak in depth about Antonio Brown, but what Antonio Brown was told by Floyd Mayweather Jr. received criticism. And for the life of me, I can't understand it because Floyd Mayweather Jr. didn't do anything but say the truth. Now, everybody right now in the known world, probably not the whole known world, but for the most part, people all throughout the United States and Antonio Brown is from the United States. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is from the United States. Most of us are quarantined, either voluntarily quarantined or lawfully quarantined because of this stuff going around. So Floyd Mayweather Jr. is talking to Antonio Brown in that setting. And he's talked to, and, we know Floyd Mayweather Jr. got a gigantic ego, but in defense of him, if who that accomplished that much really doesn't have a big ego. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. was saying to Antonio Brown, and he whipped out like $60,000 in cash and said, look, there's a whole bunch of people who wanted to see me fail. I made a bunch of money. I made good investments. And, just like this $60,000 in cash that I can show you right here, I can take care of my family. People are saying that my money's going away, but my money ain't going away. I made wise investments and my investments are still paying off. So he's talking to Antonio Brown about that. And I catch wind of it in a very snide Twitter post by Steve Kim, who's a boxing writer for ESPN. And I also caught it on News Now 24, basically some news feeds coming out of the UK, where they were like, Floyd Mayweather Jr. gives advice to Antonio Brown, saying that he doesn't care about this particular, the particular virus that we're all worried about. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., he didn't say, from what I got, he didn't say that he wasn't worried about that virus because he couldn't catch it. He was saying that he has enough money in this circumstance to take care of his loved ones. So the financial impact of this situation doesn't bother him as much as it would other people. So Antonio, get your money right. So how can that be interpreted to Antonio Brown? Hey man, you got a lot of stuff going on in your life. You want to get back and play football, but if you got your money, take care of your money. Make sure you get your money, because if you get your money and your money's right, you got it in cash and you got a lot of it. Got it in the bank. You also got cash. You got a lot of it. You might have some gold bars, some gold bars buried underneath your house. That's a smart thing, because it's a good thing, because it does provide relief to you in your life. And that's just a fact. That's not something, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is saying, hey man, I'm not bragging by showing you this money. I'm just telling you I'm in good shape. So I'm not worried. Maybe you should get yourself in shape too. So I listened to it and I look at the comments made about it, and I'm just staggered. I mean, I just don't understand. What did Floyd Mayweather Jr. say that was wrong there? That is absolutely positively the truth. Wealthy people in this particular circumstance that we're in are not worried about whether or not they're going to be able to feed their kids. They're not worried about whether or not they're going to be able to pay their mortgage. They're not worried about whether or not they're going to get an eviction notice. A lot of the stresses that surround this issue disappear when you have enough money to take care of yourself. And that is just the truth. That's the world we live in. Unfortunately for us, that's the world we live in. Personally, I would love to live in a situation where if everybody is suffering from this particular circumstance, that everybody is made whole, because the only way that we can all get out of it is if we all do the right thing. That's not the world we live in. We live in a system where you are rewarded based on how much money you have. If you have money, you have a political voice. If you have money, you have security. If you have enough money, you have the access to the right doctors, and you don't have to skip out on doctor visits because you have to worry about your copay or something like that. All of those things that Floyd Mayweather Jr. said, I mean, those are the things that I'm thinking, but they're all related to what Floyd Mayweather Jr. said, and it's just the truth. There is a business side to sports. The reason that Antonio Brown is doing what Antonio Brown is doing, hopefully, is to make the money necessary for Antonio Brown, first and foremost, to take care of himself for the rest of his life and his family. And after you get to a certain point that some of these athletes are making, you should be able to do that, reasonably speaking. You should be able to play 3 years. And what else do you need? I'm not sure how much Antonio Brown makes. I'm sure, though, that at a point he was making a lot of money because he's such an excellent fighter, an excellent football player. But get your head together, man. Solve your problems. Get back out there and play football long enough to make your money. Don't cause yourself a bunch of unnecessary problems and get it done. Floyd, if that's what Floyd Mayweather Jr. was communicating to Antonio Brown, there is nothing wrong with that. And the fact that Floyd Mayweather Jr. can whip out $60,000 in cash in this environment, that's important, because what's going to happen with this, more than likely what's going to happen, and I'm getting kind of more into a Patreon video here, but what more than likely is going to happen is that the financial situation we live in, people's property is going to lose a lot of value, because there's not going to be a lot of people with money on the market out there to buy it. So since there's not very much, there won't be a lot of demand, their price goes down. So if they have things that they sell or things that got foreclosed or whatever, the people with the cash are going to be, and the money are going to be able to buy those resources and buy those assets at a very low cost. as our economy comes out of what we're in right now, the value of the things that they bought, for, pennies on a dollar now start to regain their value again. So they make money going. It winds up being a situation that's profitable for them. But the only way you can do that is if you have access to a lot of money. Either you have the ability and the payment history with a bank where they can loan you the money to make the purchases, or like Floyd Mayweather Jr., if you just got it sitting in a secured vault in cash. I'm sure he's got, bank accounts as well. But hey, man, my man likes to see his money, and I don't have any fault whatsoever for him doing that. Obviously, what these guys are trying to do by criticizing him when they were criticizing him, obviously what they're really trying to do is they're trying to poke fun at Antonio Brown having some domestic issues and Floyd Mayweather Jr. having domestic issues. But domestic issues aside, how many people listening to this video or making comments on Floyd Mayweather Jr. have accomplished what he's accomplished financially in his life? And the answer to that is few, if probably none, but if some, few. You know what I mean? So I just don't get the criticism. I think it's just another way to try to kick Floyd Mayweather Jr. because people didn't like Floyd Mayweather. They didn't like Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he was in the ring, and they wanted him to lose in the ring. They never gave him that. He never gave them that satisfaction. So now when he's out of boxing, they want him to lose outside of boxing and be the dumb athlete that blew all of his money. And apparently Floyd Mayweather Jr. ain't trying to satisfy them in that regard either, and is showing you that with a stack of cash. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think, and with that, I'm out. Peace.